Anyway, let's get started.
That silence was like, all right.
Yeah, let's actually get started.
Embrace the
All right.
silence.
I should probably like come up with some kind of unique intro for this, since it is like a series we're doing.
Who's better for the monthly power dump hour? Get your anuses tight and ready to go, boys. It's time to pour. Sorry.
Wow. All right.
I like that intro. I think
I-
Natai's onto something. That's a pretty good intro.
There you go.
Drink.
Write it up for me, Natai.
I forgot it. Roll back the tape. Roll back the tape.
Don't worry, it's being recorded. For now, I'm just gonna do the basic intro though.
Can we do it like a fucking wrestling intro? And it's like, and now for your main event, the monthly power dump hour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Anime Club After Dark, the podcast that delves into all things anime, manga, and otaku culture related. I'm your host, Alex, but you can call me Senpai. And joining me tonight, we have our poser extraordinaire, Natai.
He has a wife, you know.
Oh my god. Oh, he
Why?
wasn't here
Got
for
him.
the bit. He wasn't here for the bit. Hold on.
What?
Oh my god, I don't remember how to do it.
There was a bit.
What are you doing?
What
Because-
what's that?
Because
Oh.
You realize it's not going to show up on screen, so no one's going to know what happened.
I
Fine.
can see it.
I'm
Anyway,
sure you can.
moving along.
Yeah,
Moving
moving
along.
along. We also have our
It's good to be
source
here with you.
material,
Moving
John.
along.
Hi, John.
Incontinentia.
Continentia buttocks.
When are we doing the actual best podcast about an anime? About fucking Life of Brian, the actual
I
best
don't-
anime of all time.
I don't know, but we really should.
Directed by Hideaki Anno, of all people.
Yes, Shin Python. But first of all, I hope everyone likes the little bit of a new look we have going on. Hopefully, it becomes permanent because we really do like this. Second of all,
Permanency on Anime Club After Dark?
I know!
Lies.
I know, go figure. Second of all, this is the first in what we hope is going to become a monthly series that we do on the podcast. We have called the Monthly Dump. So
It
here
has a
on
better
Anime,
name, and you know it.
no, because a monthly dump is something I can say pretty easily. I can't say your like 50-word long thing you wanted to call it. But something we don't get a chance to do a whole lot on the podcast is talk about things that we've been watching recently. Currently airing anime seasons. We also don't get a chance to talk about some of our hot takes, shall we say, our shit takes, as the monthly dump would imply. So this is going to be a monthly series where we get a chance to get together and do that. Won't necessarily always be about like anime, manga, and otaku culture, but it probably mostly will be. Occasionally, we might, branch out into things like video games or current events or things like that.
Or
But mostly,
food.
we're
This is the
Or
monthly
food.
rant episode because people told me I need to shut up and stop ranting in the Discord. So here I am. I'll save it up every month and I'll rant on this episode.
Y'all
Yeah.
suppressed him. Y'all tried to suppress him. Look
Being
what you
freaking censored.
did.
But yeah, people seem to really enjoy, especially when John just rants and raves about shit. So this is gonna kind of be an episode where we all get to do that.
It's mainly
Plus,
John,
we don't
though,
get to
let's be
like
honest.
we used to talk about like what we were watching every week when we first started the podcast like 6-7 odd years ago. And we haven't done
God.
that in a long time, where we just talk about, yeah, so this is what I'm watching and this is how it's
Yeah.
going. So
I
it's kind
think
of just
instead
like
of doing it every week like we used to, doing it every month would probably be better.
yeah, I think
because
It gives
that
you
way
more
of
you
us
time
like
to
to-
like form.
Well, a lot
Form
of
a
us like
good
to binge
opinion of it,
watch
yeah.
stuff too. So
oh yeah, like I'm binge watching Record of Ragnarok season 2 came out, but only the first 10 episodes.
Oh God, why? Why are you doing that to yourself?
Because Netflix is fucking. I love Record of Ragnarok, bro. Have you seen it?
I watched
No.
like a few clips I saw online. Bro, my PowerPoint slides from back in 6th grade had more slides than this fucking show.
Bro, you don't understand. Like, this is stupid on the level of Baki. This is why I love it so much. Because it's
But
just
with no
dumb.
fucking style. With no style.
Bro.
Bruh.
It's just anyway. But I wanted to start off with saying this season of anime has been really fucking weak. Like,
well, before we get into that, when we say this season, we're recording this the last week of the winter 2023 season. I think this is going to go out maybe. I think this is going to go out like the second week of April. But yeah, we're talking about the winter season specifically.
Yeah,
bro.
So winter
don't forget
2023.
2023.
It's not 2024 yet. I'm not 34 yet, John.
What's that, Natai?
I need to say this though. Let's be honest. We were eating really good in fall.
We were eating really
we
good
had it
in
really
spring,
great
summer, and fall. Yes, I understand that.
It was a
Maybe
really good
it's
streak.
because we were eating so good that I'm just like, this new season of anime just isn't palatable. Like, everything is just bad. I wouldn't say it was bad, but I don't know. I've watched, I want to say
the numbers,
14.
Mason. What do they mean?
I've watched 14 shows. I guess 16 if you count the other ones. I've watched 16 shows this season. And the only thing that I think was
15 more than I.
the only anime that I thought was really good this season was probably Vinland Saga. But I mean, Vinland Saga is just really good.
Vinland Saga is like Berserk levels of peak suffer porn.
Bro,
I was going into this season like kind of happy because it's like, oh, there's like 6 shows that are coming out that I read the manga for or the light novel for, and I was just like, yeah, the show was kind of okay. I was like just mildly disappointed in everything I watched. Like, yes, of course it's isekai, so of course it's never going to be amazing. Other than Mushoku Tensei, okay, I get
isekai,
that.
John.
Hey, we're getting Mushoku Tensei in the summer again, though.
Yeah, I'm pretty hyped for that.
Sorry,
we're getting the second season of Mushoku Tensei and Jujutsu Kaisen right together,
like back to back.
So
it's crazy.
We're gonna be eating good eventually, but yeah, this season to me, there's no like real standouts, you know, no like new shows that came out that I was just like, wow, that was amazing. Like none.
I wouldn't call
Let
it.
me
weak,
tell you.
but I would say it's not as good as what we've been getting.
Let me tell you about something. All right. Okay.
All right.
Listen, I'm not shitting you. This season of My Hero Academia is the best season we've had by far. It's not even a fucking competition.
Bro.
I'm not. I was the guy. I was the guy who was like, yeah, I'll keep up with My Hero Academia. Like, I overall thought it was just an okay show. The peaks were really fucking good, but the valleys were like, it's whatever. Then last year we had a really, really weak season. I think I gave it like a 4 or a 5. I was like, it's just whatever. Just not great. Season 6 though of MHA has been fantastic. Now I'm not trying to change anyone's mind already formed.
The most memorable part of MHA is the porn. All right,
he is absolutely right.
Oh God, what? It's not Overwatch, dude. Right. It's not Overwatch. There's more to it than the porn.
It's high school Overwatch, bro.
No, it's not, bro. Don't even compare. Overwatch.
Bro, look at the story.
Is so much better in that department than My Hero Academia.
The story of Overwatch, okay, with like the
Who
team
gives a shit
Overwatch?
about that story?
Overwatch has a story.
Apparently, it does.
Yeah, you played as John Overwatch. Am I right?
yeah.
The main character.
It's just like
Overwatch,
it's just like Halo.
Overwatch
You play as John Halo, right?
Yeah, same thing. Just wait for the new TV show from Paramount Plus, where John Halo fucks a female robot.
Wait, so if Paramount Plus makes Overwatch,
the human alien,
if Paramount Plus does a Overwatch show, is it just going to be called Overcheeks?
I'm not sure how many of you watched the live action Halo.
It sucks.
I didn't bother.
I got to episode 4, I think, and I stopped. But they definitely, I think that the Halo live action on Paramount Plus was never intended to be a Halo IP. I think that they had some generic sci-fi fantasy setting. They slapped it. And they just slapped Halo on top of it. Like, it does not seem like it was made as a Halo thing. Because, like, first of all, like, I was pretty hyped on the first episode. I'm not gonna lie, cause I really liked that they focused on like the background stuff, like the village, the people, basically anything but the main cast and any of the Spartan stuff. I thought that was cool as shit. And then they got to the part where they do like first person fucking I'm playing Halo, guys. Remember Doom? Remember Doom Eternal, the movie where they did the first person section where it looks like you're playing Doom? We're doing that. And I was just like, this looks like ass. This CG is fucking terrible. I hate this. Stop. And it was all downhill from there.
The crazy thing about the CG in the Halo show is that like there were pockets of the CG that were really well done, and it would immediately be followed by something that looked like shit.
I enjoyed watching vicariously through hate videos of this show so much. It was because I'm not as invested in Halo. Like I enjoyed the games, but I'm not as invested. I didn't grow up with this shit. So watching like fucking people just lose their minds and going through to extreme details to explain what's happening in this show, I'm like, oh, this is great. This is so much fun.
Yeah, I would say I'm not that invested in Halo either. Like I grew up playing it and stuff. Like I remember my cousin had an Xbox and we stayed up all night to like beat the game on Legendary, and it was super fun. Right when I was like 7 or 8 years old or something, whenever that came out, and so I did play every single Halo up until Halo. I believe the last one I played was in high school, which was Reach. I think that was the last one that came out before I graduated. I want to say that's the last one I played.
Did you remember Reach?
Yes.
Never.
Always
remember Reach. Always remember Reach. Dude,
Hashtag remember Reach.
I love Reach. Personally,
Reach
I think this story. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm that invested in Halo because I don't care about the books. I didn't care for like any of the story stuff that like they have like Halo Legends, and there's a different like spin-off series where it shows like more. Basically, there's a bunch of Halo lore outside of the Halo games. I don't care about any of that. I kind of just like I play John Halo. Fight Covenant. Like that's me playing Halo.
The funny thing about the Halo. The funny thing about the Halo franchise is that, like, with a lot of media franchises, whatever the primary thing is, like, that's what's canon. Like, Star Trek, for example.
Here's a hot take.
Hold on. Star Trek, like, for example, right? The only things in Star Trek that are considered canon are things that have either been on TV or in the movies. Everything else is considered non-canon. With Halo, every piece of media that's created for it is considered canon.
Even the live action Paramount one? I don't think so, bro.
Allegedly. I don't know how they're going to work that in.
But no, here's my hot take for Halo. I think the story is mid. I don't think it's interesting enough to actually like care about the books and stuff like that. Because if you think about the main story about John Halo himself, I don't remember his name. His name is John.
Master Chief.
It's just John, right?
Yeah, it's just John. You never learn what his surname is.
His first name is Master. His surname is Chief.
Yeah, obviously. But
it's like Mr.
Master
T.
John,
first name Mr.
It's like it's like Mario and Luigi. What's your name? Luigi.
Super.
What's your last name? Luigi. No, what was it?
Yeah, no,
what's Luigi Mario? What's your name? Mario. What's your surname? Mario.
I think that the actual main story of Halo is mid. I don't think it's that great. Like, I think that when you're playing through the campaign of Halo, it's fun because it's a video game. Like, it's a good video game story for this is you. You are John Halo now. But outside of that, like with all the books and all the alternative media, I don't care for it. Like I remember watching, I think it was Halo Legends where I watched, or there was the one where it shows like when John first got selected, like he was sold off by his parents or something to go into the Spartan program. Well, I mean, sold off. He was kidnapped by.
He was literally kidnapped by Dr. Halsey.
Yeah, Halsey kidnaps like a bunch of kids and does fucked up experiments to make Spartans. But anyway, like I think all the auxiliary story stuff is pretty good. Like I liked watching Legends. I liked learning about Halsey's experiments and like what happened to the rest of the Spartans. That's actually interesting. But the main story of Halo, the one that drives everyone to like Halo, fucking is not great. Because
like the moment-to-moment story, like the story
the moment-to-moment story of like
games.
Here's Halo 1, here's Halo 2, here's 3. Those suck. But Halo Reach, I love the story for Halo Reach. It was really good. And ODST, oh my god, dude. I fucking love ODST. Which is why I'm like, it's a shame that the world building around Halo is really strong, but the main storyline fucking sucks ass.
I would push back on that a little bit and say the stuff with like, John himself, Master Chief, is kind of average. The stuff with the Arbiter is really good, though.
Oh yeah, I love the Sangheili stuff. Like again,
Yeah.
the auxiliary stories are amazing. But why is it that when we play Halo as John Halo, his story is like the worst part? He's the main
'Cause
character.
He's not like because like I don't think Master Chief is the most like interesting thing in Halo, and he's not supposed to. He's a vehicle for you to fulfill a fantasy of being this fucking badass Master Chief
Super
Spartan
soldier,
who's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
a super soldier, and that's all he is.
Self-insert.
He gets the job done. That's like his characteristic, you know. He's finishing the fight. He gets
I
the
don't
job
know,
done.
bro.
That's all he needs to be.
Did you
to do.
play Halo 4, 5, and then Infinite, the story?
No,
campaign?
fuck no.
So in Halo 4 and 5, absolute garbage fucking storyline because it focuses on boo-hoo, Mr. John Halo. He can't live without his blue little fuck toy, and who lives in his fucking helmet.
Bruh,
And then
did you see her though?
No, and then okay, fair, okay. And
Cortana in 4.
Okay,
Come on,
fair.
man.
And I will say the fact that they brought Cortana into the actual Halo live action was pretty cool. I like that. But that's kind of like the only thing I liked about the Halo live action.
They missed a perfect opportunity to get Jen Taylor to voice her in the fucking show.
Yeah, I know.
Why?
But I will say, Halo 4, 5, and then Infinite's campaign focus too much on John Halo and trying to make him a character. And I absolutely hated Locke. I fucking hated that guy. Like his storyline, it was in 4 or 5 that he had to.
Well, technically you first see him in 5, but they have now retconned Halo 2 to be an actual retelling of John Locke telling the story of Master Chief.
Which is that's right. That's right. They did retcon because he's talking to the Sangheili about it. Like
he's telling the Sangheili about Master Chief's story. And so now, if you play Halo 2 Anniversary on the Master Chief Collection now, it starts with a brand new cinematic of Spartan Locke telling the Sangheili the story of Master Chief.
Yeah, he's telling that guy.
I don't remember that.
What's his name?
I don't remember that.
The War Master, the really cool Sangheili,
the Battle Master.
Battle Master? I don't remember.
Battle Master.
I forget. He has an actual name. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, the guy who's missing the mandible.
Yeah,
that guy. The guy who again, when you're in the campaign and you're doing the Arbiter stuff, and then he like fucking goes off and he goes, "I'll protect you!" Oh! And you're like, "No!" Then he comes back. He's like, "War Master, you survived." Yeah, Wart. Again,
all that
cool.
supporting cast is so cool to be around. Like fucking Johnson, dude.
Why?
Yeah, Sergeant Johnson.
I love Johnson so much.
I love Johnson. What's her name? Miranda
Keys.
Miranda Keys. She's a badass, you know?
Yeah.
Everyone's there. Everyone in the supporting cast are a bunch of these fucking competent badasses who know their shit, know what
Halo
to do.
1, when Captain Keyes gets caught, and like his story about how he protected the Marines and that's why he got fucked up, right? It's like crazy. It's a good story from the point of view of like the Marines who were saved by Captain Keyes' action of like being the one to be sacrificed against the flood. And it's just like, again, super cool story. You don't see any of that in the main story stuff. And John Halo kind of, again, that's my opinion. I think that the main story of Halo is just, I don't want to say it's trash, but it's just not great comparatively to everything else in the franchise.
I think it's just like it's not a very complicated story. It's very simple. Like you have like cool twists with the flood and whatnot, but like overall, it's a very like simple sci-fi story with some awesome like designs and unique world. But I think as we said, like the thing that does it from like in the moment to moment feel is not Master Chief the character. You embody him, but
no,
everyone who's around him.
Like he wakes up, I need a weapon. That's
exactly. And like it just everyone who's around him, it's like that's was really interesting to me playing for the first time. Like these games are a lot of fun, not in only gameplay, but like the whole feel. Like when you go on the Halo ring, it's like a bunch of Marines hanging out and like, woo, Laurel! You know, it's just a good old time, jolly good adult time, just like fighting aliens. It's great. Like the entire cast is just like filled with so much confidence and bravado, and just like there's something really, really entertaining about watching it. You know, it's just like a really fun sci-fi movie.
And then you
It's
shoot your
done
Marines in the
really
face for ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Master Chief has lost it.
He's lost it. Oh God, we're
Oh
dead.
wait, I have one more hot take for Halo before I move on. I think the
If
library.
you're about to say that Cortana isn't hot, I'm going to reach through there and strangle you.
Cortana is 100% hot. I would fuck Pixels, but
You heard it here
I think-
first.
in Halo 1, the library, the most hated level of Halo, is actually pretty good. That's my hot
Okay.
take.
I will say, if Halo 1 were the only Halo game, I disagree with you. But the fact that the level Cortana in Halo 3 exists, I will say you're right. It's not as bad as people say it is. Because that is the
I
worst
think-
level in the entire franchise.
The reason I say this is because in the library, like, I get that it's stupid and repeating because it's the same corridor over and over for like 4 or 5 levels.
It's
3 levels.
exhausting, dude.
It is exhausting. However, the music, the setup of
It's
like
great.
the
atmosphere
like
is
little
great.
pockets of the atmosphere is amazing. Like, I think that
definitely.
the level itself is boring and I hate it. Sure, why not? But I do think that the atmosphere that it creates itself is pretty good game design. Like, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
And of course, gamers are gonna disagree. I don't give a fuck, dude. You don't understand good game design, is all I'm saying.
Bro,
I
I'll
will
never
say
forget
the level right before the library is really, really good too. When the Flood are first introduced,
Oh,
like
yeah.
that twist is
Yeah.
handled really well.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
Like, it
great.
plays off of the high of like, here's the killer reveal, right? And it's like, oh God, you see the monster. Now you know what the monster is. Now
And you
have to,
see
like, slowly
elites and
creep-
shit running away because they're fucking terrified.
Yeah, they're getting like, oh. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Natai?
No, I just like I'll never forget that moment of us playing Cortana in Halo 3, and we're going through it for like the longest time, and Alex is like, "Do you understand why this is the worst level in Halo?"
The
I'm
worst
like,
actual
"Yeah."
level in Halo?
Because it's
Yeah.
crazy. I remember.
Every 5 minutes, the game takes control away from you to have the grave mind literally like come in your ear. Like, dude,
Ugh.
stop.
It's so the library is exhausting, but like Cortana is that times 10. It's like, please, I want to be done with this. You're
And
like,
you talk about
you're
everything
like, I want to
looking
end
exactly
this
the
fucking shit.
same.
What's that?
You talk about everything looking exactly the same in the library. Everything looks the
No,
same
and
in
Cortana's
Cortana
even
too.
worse.
Yeah,
I will say,
Cortana is
though,
the worst level.
so
And
I think
the
that-
thing is, the Cortana happens right after one of the best levels in all of Halo Covenant.
That's true.
Covenant's great.
That is true.
So wait, which Halo is best Halo then?
Halo 2.
Oh, I would say
Halo
Halo
2.
2.
Halo 2 is the best one.
I would say a very
Agreed.
close second is Reach.
Halo 2
I
is my
think
favorite.
Halo 2,
From
because
playing all
Halo
these,
2
Halo 2 was my favorite.
In my opinion, I think Halo 2 reiterated everything from Halo 1 and then made it better. Like, I get that people are upset that they nerfed the Magnum pistol, but we got dual wielding. Okay, we got
The
swords,
SMGs!
the SMG, bro,
Dude!
the sniper, right? The Covenant sniper was really cool. The beam rifle,
Yeah.
and just like the level
Fuck
design and
Sniper
everything.
Jackals though on Legendary.
Yeah, but I think overall, I think Halo 2 was the best Halo in my opinion because I had the most fun with it. It was fun to run in Legendary compared to like Halo 1 on Legendary isn't that like hard. There's a whole meta to it. Like, you got to run like a laser pistol and then you run the Magnum pistol or plasma pistol because one full charge breaks the shield, then 2 tap them in the face. There's a whole meta, but I think Halo 2 does an excellent job at how they handle Legendary with the skulls and stuff. Halo 3, I'm gonna be honest, Halo 3 is pretty forgettable in my opinion because like the events of Halo 2 kind of just bleed into Halo 3 and they feel like the exact same. Like, it's just a long running game. Halo 2 and 3 are kind of just interconnected.
It's Halo
Even
2
though I know
Part
But
2.
they're so...
Yeah, it's Halo 2 Part 2, really.
But game feel wise, you can tell the difference. Because
Yeah.
I'll never forget that very jarring moment of jumping from 2 to 3 while we were playing it on stream. I was like, oh, the SMGs, yeah, like let's pick them up. And they feel terrible. In 3, the SMGs feel garbage,
Yeah.
which was
It's
Yeah,
because
so
they
weird.
tried to create a weapon sandbox where the SMG and the assault rifle were in the same weapon sandbox.
And it's
Yeah,
so
like
weird.
SMGs in
like,
2 were great because 1, you could dual wield like SMG Needler or fucking double SMGs. Like, it was great shit. I
The
love
SMGs and 2 are like my favorite weapons, like by
Yeah.
far. They're
like
so
game feel
satisfying
for
to
Halo
use.
2 is just really good. So
Yeah.
and then at Halo 3 to me again just bleeds into Halo 2. They're the same game, just 2 and 3. Though you definitely feel like they had to reel back from like, all right, we're not doing dual wielding anymore. We're gonna do this other story stuff, and like they have some weapons in Halo 3 that I thought were pretty cool, like the was it the carbine, right?
Yeah, the Covenant carbine.
The Covenant carbine, I really like that one.
Is it carbine?
Carbine. No, it's a carbine.
I've
Carbine.
never heard someone say carbine.
I've always called it
Is
carbine.
it a car and a bean? Which one is it,
Yes.
John?
There's
It's
an
a
E
car and a-
afterwards, bro. Carbine. Anyway,
Whatever.
point is,
Carbine, carbine.
I think that Halo 2 is probably my favorite Halo. And then I would say probably ODST and then Reach. Because I absolutely love the story of ODST. And I absolutely love Reach. It's such a good game.
I love
And
the
then Halo
story.
1 and then
I
Halo
love
3.
I love the story of both Reach and ODST. One thing I think ODST really has going for it is its atmosphere and its sound design. It is really well done.
Like, first of all, the jazz, bro. The jazz,
jazz
soundtrack.
the jazz.
Beautiful.
It's got
we
like
have to
this.
finish
It's almost got like this sci-fi noir feel to it, and I really like it.
Well, because like I love the feeling of the helplessness you feel when you play ODST, right? Because that's what
Because you're not a
supposed to feel.
Spartan.
Because you're not a Spartan. You're not a super soldier who can just run in and just rock 50 elites. No problem. You're a guy who will die pretty quickly if you get overrun. And you have to be kind of like calm and collected while you're running through the city. You can't fight huge patrols by yourself. At least
That's
not
fall
without
damage, man.
backup.
Yeah,
And,
fall
like,
damage.
Just like the storytelling that they have, like when you find the is it Suri? I don't the girl who's trying to escape the city from New Mombasa.
Yeah, I forget the girl's name.
I don't remember her name either, but like the storytelling of what we hear, what happens to the citizens, coupled with the fact that we don't see anyone there because they've all run away and like everyone's basically dead, and then like the dead people around everywhere, like the dead aliens everywhere. It's like people fought here, and the ODST were the first to respond, but like the Covenant came and attacked them so fast they weren't ready, and that type of like atmosphere that it builds on top of the fact that you're not a Spartan and it's like, bro, you're fighting shit that superhumans have a hard time fighting, and you got to do something about it. Like, damn.
I will
bro.
say, story-wise, the audio logs that they added in were a brilliant addition.
Yeah,
Because you actually have to go out and find them, and it's such good, like very subtle storytelling of what happened before you woke up. Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, let's talk about anime.
Yeah, let's talk about
We
anime.
are an anime podcast after all.
John, what's the worst thing you watched in the winter season? Tell us about it.
Oh, here we go. This has been building up for so long.
I have.
If
never
you've joined our
hate
Discord
watched.
server, which is linked below, which you should definitely join, you get to hear these rants in live, live and in color.
Normally, I have to. So here's the thing: when I watch something, I have to write down my opinion of it because then I'm gonna forget what I said about it. Like, I'll have a vague feeling of my opinion, but I won't remember the words that I used to describe it. I have never hate watched a show in my life. I have never seen a show where I'm like, this is so bad, I'm gonna finish it to the end. I immediately drop shows like that. I guess you could say I hate watched Guilty Crown, but I mean, I had like 4 episodes left. I had to just finish it. Like, sunken cost fallacy at that point. Because I needed to
And
see
to
how
your
the shit
credit, you
wrapped
say
up.
you were actually enjoying the music in it, so
I love the music, yeah. There was actually something about Guilty Crown's music is really good.
there was
And again,
something about the show you did like.
it's the tonal shift at episode 13 that makes me hate the show.
Hmm.
But The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten is a terrible rom-com, and everyone who likes it should feel fucking bad.
Which apparently a lot of people like it.
It's very highly rated, and I'm like, why? I hate this show.
What is
Like,
this show about, John?
Oh,
It
tell us,
is
John.
a
Tell us.
terrible rom-com about Mr. Unpopular Man who can get with this super mega hot chick because he's a nice guy. Like,
And,
this is
wait,
not...
and to be fair, John doesn't mean a nice guy. He means like an actual nice guy.
Yeah, but like there's a lot of problems with The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten. I watch a lot of rom-coms. I read a lot of shoujo manga. So I think I have somewhat of a formulated opinion on like how rom-coms should be. At least I have my own taste in rom-coms for sure. I think The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten is a really bad rom-com because it doesn't do anything that a rom-com should. Like, there's this whole will they, won't they ordeal that happens, but like, it doesn't, there's no reason for it at the beginning. Like, there's no meet cute. There's literally, all right, this is how the first episode opens. Here is boring MC man, your most boring Miss Average Man. All right. I'm serious. He's
vanilla flavor.
I am serious. His character trait is that he's plain and boring.
So he's literally a personified vanilla bean.
He is literally a blank slate. That is his personality. I am Mr. Blank Slate. Please insert yourself into my character because I am going to land a super hot chick because I'm going to be nice to her.
Like, vicariously through me.
Oh, God. Like, I get that most, like, at least harem anime will make the main character a blank slate because it's like, insert yourself. It's a self-insert type of character, right?
Wish fulfillment.
But at least in these shows, they give you the option of like, well, he's actually his own character. He just has relatable traits, but he's kind of his own character. This one, literally, no, he has no traits. His trait is he's a blank slate. Like,
great example though of what you're talking about. Hachiman from Snafu. Is he kind of an asshole when you first meet him? Yeah. But he is his own character.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, literally, blank slate man. He's all of a sudden walking home, and he sees the angel of the class, whatever her name was, Sheena, Mayuri,
the angel next door. That's what she is.
The angel next door. Her name is Sheena. I don't remember her actual name. I'm gonna call her.
Is she a
Sheena.
part of the kids next door?
No. So she's sitting there on like at the playground, and it's raining, and then Mr. Boring MC Man just comes up to her with his umbrella. He's like, "Hey, here, don't stand in the rain." Okay, then see ya. Then he leaves. And ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe it. She's in love. Whoa, holy shit, dude.
We got her.
This random stranger came up to me while I was down in the dumps in the cold rain, and he gave me an umbrella. Now I love him. Like,
man,
no, you're kidding. Really?
Was genuinely that easy.
Apparently, landing hot women is that easy, guys. Listen to me. If you ever see a hot woman who's down on her dumps, just walk up to her and give her an umbrella and then walk away. She's going to fall head over heels for you.
I thought I was just joking when I said she fell in love. I wasn't prepared for you to affirm
No, you weren't.
Joke.
No. So they come back. They circle back to why she even likes the main dude in the last couple episodes. And she was like, well, you caught my attention during that day. And then she trauma dumps on him about why she was sitting out in the rain. And it's like, yo, this is pretty fucking heavy. Like, this is pretty heavy. This is pretty fucked up what you're going through, lady. And it's like, but you showed me kindness that day, and that's when I knew I loved you. And I'm like, you've
just
never
a fucking
met this
umbrella.
man. It's whoa, dude. If I just do one random act of kindness, women will fall head over heels for me. They'll come over to my house and cook every day. It's insane.
I could accept this if he was like, okay, I got to find this guy just so I can say thanks. That was a very nice gesture. And then you move on with your day.
Yeah, progressively building in the relationship, not like, oh, thanks for giving me the umbrella. Also, I know that I'm your neighbor, so to pay you back, I'll come over and cook for you. And then we're going to be like a married couple literally throughout the entire show, and then we'll confess to each other at the end. It's like, I feel like you skipped a couple of steps here. I feel like...
Well, good thing she restrained herself from like burying his children or something, you know?
Yeah, I know, right?
Like, it gets worse, man. It gets fucking worse.
What did the very next day did she come over, spread her cheeks, and say, "Breed me"?
No. So she. So there's
that's
the
the gene
right?
cheese.
So here's the thing: when she trauma dumps on the main character guy in like episode 8,
what's
or
her
9
trauma?
or 10 or whenever, her trauma is that
she's too hot.
Well, her trauma is that one, no one really knows who she is because everyone treats her like she's the idol of the class, so she doesn't really have friends. Because everyone who's interested in her is only like
superficially interested.
Yeah, it's very superficial. So it's like, oh yeah, that's relatable. That's very relatable, you know, being an outcast like that. However,
people were interested in you in high school.
Damn, bro, I don't feel.
What's it like to have people genuinely interested in the person you are?
I mean, I think it's pretty normal. All right. Anyway, point is, we're not focusing on our traumas.
Is it though, John?
So her trauma dump is that her parents got together because it was like a arranged marriage, and they don't love each other. In fact, the parents hate each other. So Sheena lives by herself, and her mom is a huge bitch. She's like, I fucking hate you. I can't wait until you turn 18 so I don't have to ever fucking see you ever again. I'm not exaggerating. She does say this. And I'm like, that is a very fucked up thing to say to a girl. So when she grew up, when Sheena grew up, she had a house keeper who basically took care of her. And she taught her how to cook.
She's rich too.
Well, yeah, her parents make money, but she doesn't have parents, essentially. She was raised without parents, and it's a pretty fucked up thing. I'm like, this is pretty deep trauma. All right. And it's like she's trauma dumping on the main character guy. And you know what he does? Do you know what he does after she trauma dumps on him?
He pulls his cock out.
He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." Pats your head. She's like, oh, my ovaries have descended. Please breed me. And I'm like, bro, she just told you about some really fucked up shit. And your response is like, literally, I'm just going to be like, oh, it's going to be okay. And then like, that's all you had to do. That's bare minimum. I'm like, she doesn't even know you that well. First and foremost, she's known you for a grand total. Anything at this point, she's only known him for like 3 months. Three months. I'm not sure about
what is their dynamic.
So their dynamic is that Mr. Boring Main Character Man is the most boring main character man ever, and no one thinks about him because he's boring. I am not exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating. That is his character. He's literally called that by the class in the first episode. He's a plain guy. And then Sheena, his neighbor, is the angel of the classroom. So everyone's like, oh, Sheena, she's so smart. Oh, she's so pretty. She's like a doll. So after he like finds her in the rain and he gives her the umbrella, she decides, I'm going to pay him back by cooking him meals. And thus starts the rom-com. That's their meet cute.
Is there calm in this rom-com?
I guess there's some comedy, but it's not funny to me. Like, the most interesting thing that I saw in this show was when potentially the main character guy could have got yaoi baited. And I was like, I'm here for this. Please get topped by the main character. The main character guy needs to get fucking like Kabe donned like by the popular dude. And he's like, hey, thanks for giving me that bag. Whatever his name, fucking main character guy. Thanks for giving me that plastic bag to hold all my chocolates because I'm so popular. And I'm like, please, just like turn into a yaoi show. This would be so much better if it turned into a yaoi show. I would care more.
John literally goes, gay, become gay.
Yeah, I thought it would have been more interesting if he became gay. If all of a sudden he was like, instead of, it was a fake out, like he's just nice to the girl because he's a nice guy, but he's actually gay. And I was like, I would have loved to watch that. That would have been way cooler. Fuck, it wasn't.
I have become gay, destroyer of ovaries.
So each episode, like he talks to the main character girl Sheena, or the main character guy talks to Sheena, and Sheena basically is like, I don't like being called the angel. That's superficial. People don't really know me. And then she's like, but they call you the angel because you're cute. And she's like, you think I'm cute? Oh, yeah, don't call me that, Baka. And I'm like, so you don't like it when people call you, bro, what is this show? So tell me this, Sheena, you don't like it when people in your classroom who don't know you call you cute and an angel. But when the dude that you're cooking for, that you've known for a grand total of 1 or 2 weeks at this point, calls you cute, like all of a sudden it's okay. And he keeps doing that. So
because she wants to bone him, John.
The power of boners is strong with this, because she keeps telling him, don't do this thing. Then he goes, I'm going to go do that thing anyway. And then she all of a sudden loves it. Right. So there's a point where he wants to give her a present. He's a bad boy. He's a bad. He don't listen to girls. Their opinion doesn't matter. Women's opinion do not matter.
So he's a sexist.
Yes.
Andrew Tate, the anime.
He is Andrew Tate. Yes.
So the main character guy, right? He's like, I want to get a gift for Sheena because she's been so nice and cooking me food. So he goes to his friend's girlfriend. And it's like, hey, what do you think girls like? And she's like, well, you should probably get her jewelry or something. And then he's like, oh, okay. And then he buys her a stuffed animal instead. And he gives it to Sheena. And Sheena's like, I didn't want any gifts. but I'll treasure
What?
this forever. And now she sleeps with the teddy bear because it's a gift from her lover boy. And
He
I'm like,
literally went 1 + 1 is 5. Oh my god.
bro, logic. Like, what the fuck? And it's just like there's no fucking reason for her to like him. There's plenty of reason for him to like her because one, she's hot. She's definitely hot. She can cook. She comes over and cooks for him all the time, right? But I don't see any redeeming qualities in the main character guy, and they don't even explain anything about him, about why he's a plain guy. But they
He just
they
is.
explain his trauma. Okay, bro, let me tell you. So Sheena trauma dumps, right? She's like, oh, my parents don't love me. They actually hate each other, and I'm an unwanted child. So I didn't have parents growing up. In fact, the day that you saw me, my mom told me I'm a piece of shit, and she can't wait until I'm out of her life. Again, heavy shit. What is the main character's trauma? Please, what do you think the main character's trauma is? What
Does
you
he
guys
live by
think it is?
himself?
He has a really tiny penis.
He does live by himself.
Oh.
Okay, hold up. Well, okay. Does he have any siblings show up throughout the show?
No. He has parents, a father and a mother, and they do show up. What do you think this guy's trauma is?
They raised him too well, so he tried to get away from his parents to be his own man.
Bro, that's pretty close to how
Really?
much. So his parents, he has loving parents. His parents let him move out on his own and live by himself because he wanted to switch schools, because at his last school, he thought he was friends with this guy, but it turns out this guy was just using him for his money. That's his trauma.
Big Spencer guy right there.
That's his fucking trauma. Like,
he was used for money.
That's not trauma.
Apparently it's trauma.
That's just a crime.
That's not how trauma works.
Like, this is why, I can't get close to people. This is why I'm trying to be boring, because the last time I got close to someone, they used me for my money.
Alex, next time you pay for someone and don't pay you back, you gotta move out to a different state completely.
I know.
Like,
as if I would ever let you forget that you owe me money.
Your bitch ass.
Fair.
Instead of like confronting this dude who's using you for money, and it's not like he got beat up or anything either. He literally just, you hurt my feelings. I thought we were friends, but you were just using me for my money.
So just moved
Mom,
entire
Dad,
school?
I want to go to a different school. Please pay for my school and my new apartment so I can live by myself. Like, that's it.
No, is it that dramatic?
Yes. I mean, I'm
Wow.
over dramatizing
That
it,
sounds
but
incredible.
that's his fucking story. And I'm like, I don't think your trauma is anywhere near as bad as Sheena's.
Agreed.
He just sounds like I don't even know how to describe this bitch.
Bro,
Bro.
This MC does not deserve this girl. All right.
This MC doesn't sound like he deserves to exist.
Yeah. So
this MC sounds like he deserves to be scammed.
Yeah, actually. I have been watching this show.
I am a Nigerian prince.
I love rom-coms. The art looks good. It looks cute, right? I think the music is pretty good. It's your stereotypical rom-com, but it's like it's fluffy, feely good. But holy shit, man, does this story fucking suck ass. The main character is not relatable. He's not likable. And he has there's no reason at all for the main character girl, Sheena, to fall in love with the main character guy. There's none. Zero. Other than the fact that he was nice and he gave her an umbrella and then he left. And then it turns out they live in the same place. That's
At that point, just say thank you and walk away.
Did you manage to gauge from I don't know, fucking Reddit comments or whatever, if people like it, why?
Oh, people were saying this is one of the best shows of the season.
No, really?
Yeah.
I did look up. I watched, or I read the Crunchyroll comments, and of course, everyone on Crunchyroll is like, "Oh, get ready for your weekly diabetes shot, your insulin shot. This show is straight up diabetes with how cute it is." I'm like, first of all, I'm diabetic, and that's fucking offensive. All right, y'all,
bruh. What? Spy Family wasn't that that long ago. Come on.
So obviously you can't trust Crunchyroll comments because all of the comments are going to be from people who like the show. So I decided
Poor
I'm going to go
bastards.
read the comments on Mal, and
Oh
my
no!
sanity was restored when I went to Mal, because apparently everyone else is like, yeah, no, this is a big nothing sandwich. Like, there's no reason, there's no
really?
likability to the main character. There's no reason for the rom-com to exist other than to be like, hey, he's plain guy, you can be that plain guy. And also, if you're extra nice to a girl, to the hot girl, she'll fall in love with you. You just do the bare minimum. And whenever she tells you she doesn't want something, don't listen to her at all. Don't take account of her opinion whatsoever. All right. And do what you want to do. And it'll show her that you're a man. You're a manly man.
It literally is Andrew Tate, the anime.
It's crazy. Go buy 3 cars, become a real man.
It's crazy you see all the negative comments on Mal because it's sitting at just shy of an 8 out of 10.
What?
It was like a 6.79 before the finale.
Now so it's 7.94 as at the time of this recording.
Ooh.
I think that it finished and people came over from Crunchyroll or something. We're like, oh, beautiful, they got together. I'm like, they did get together in the end. And I'm like, all right, good for you. I don't care. There's no point to it.
Listen.
This show, I'm gonna give my rating. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten, the anime, 2 out of 10. Terrible fucking rom-com.
Damn.
Garbage. There are way better rom-coms out there. I do not watch The Angel Next Door and think it's good because this is not good writing. There's no reason to like it. Literally everything the main character does is an opposite to Sheena, and she just goes, "Oh, that's so loving of you. Have my kids." Like, it's so crazy.
I thought you were about to say "have my chickens."
That's what I thought.
I was gonna say "have my children."
Have my chicken.
No. Have my chicken.
He grabs a nugget and like grants her.
Yeah.
He really was pulling his cock out.
It sounds to me like, John, you're very starved for like a good rom-com to fill your heart, make you whole again. And listen, buddy, I got something for you. I got a real good recommendation for you. You know what? No, bro. This is straight from the heart. I feel you're lacking a bit of spice in your life. I feel like you need to watch Rent the Girlfriend. Join me in my depression and anger and suffering.
Can I just say about Rent a Girlfriend? Like, you people.
How many episodes have you watched, Alex?
I've watched the entire first season, sadly.
Well, guess what? It gets listen to me. It gets progressively worse.
Oh,
Season 2, baby.
I have no doubt. I just want to say it's because of people like Gigic that we had multiple seasons of this show. Fuck you, Gigic. I know you unironically like Rent a Girlfriend. Fuck you.
No, he knows it's bad, but he's like so Garnt talks about how the show is like a train wreck, but he needs to see the end. It's sunken cost fallacy at this point.
That's why we have this shit.
Listen, I think there's 2 reasons.
This is why we have this is why we have 3 seasons of this and not one fucking season, a single solitary season of No Game No Life. Fuck.
There are 2 reasons. There are 2 reasons that. All right, there are 3 reasons why this show is popular. 1, the designs are really fucking good. I'm not gonna disagree with that. Designs are good. Wait, hold up. For Japan standards, those fucking degenerates, those scum. All right, there. I justified myself. 2, the OP to season 1, really catchy as hell. It fooled me into like, maybe someday I'll check out this show. That was ages ago. I'll tell the story. Someday I'll tell the story why I'm watching it right now. And 3 is because of Gigak in the West.
Yes, I'll give you the fact that the OP is a banger for the first season.
But then they changed the OP for season 2, and it's so much worse. And like me and my buddy are watching it, and we're like, "There's nothing to latch onto in this show anymore. There's nothing here. It's so bad."
The only reason it's popular in the West is because of Gigak. I swear to God.
Listen, this anime is like, maybe sorry to talk about this show, but this anime is the only time I ever physically cringed for something, dude. It's like, Alex, you watched season 1, right?
I cringed every time the MC was on the screen.
Dude, do you remember that one moment near the end of season 1 where like he's going on a date, both families are going on a date, and then that fucking cunt Ruka shows up uninvited, out of nowhere. Nobody knows her aside from like the main couple, and she's like,
Oh,
I'm his girlfriend. It's like,
yeah.
why would you do this? I couldn't.
Why are so many rom-coms and romances in general written by people who have very clearly never been in relationships?
Fucking insults,
I
man.
mean, I understand that a lot of rom-com is supposed to be fantasies. Okay.
Yes.
Like there are plenty of shoujo manga that I read where like there's this fantasy of like this kind and caring older gentleman who's also super successful and rich falls for you, a plain Jane office lady. I get it. I also want to find my Ryan Gosling. Okay, I get it.
He's so
your Henry Cavill.
Or my Henry.
Bro,
I'm not that hot into Henry Cavill. No, okay.
What? He's such a. Did you see him build his PC? He's so cute.
Anyway,
he's a hubby.
I'm referencing The Notebook, which I watched with a bunch of my guy friends, and it was so weird.
Why did you watch The Notebook with your guy friends?
I don't know. We were like hanging out, and we're just like, "You want to watch something?" And it was like, "Oh, The Notebook's on Netflix." We're like, "I've never seen it." We apparently love it. So me and two of my guy buddies were just like, we're just watching a chick flick together, and then at the end, we're like, that was pretty good, actually. I'm trying to normalize this behavior of guys being able to watch chick flicks with just friends. Like, there's nothing wrong with watching a chick flick.
No, I'm totally down for chick flicks. What's the best chick flick? Let's talk about that.
I mean, The Notebook. Like, what
is it?
Contest. I mean, what defines a chick flick, right? Like, I'd have to look at a list.
What defines a shoujo manga? Who it's written for?
Berserk is a shoujo manga.
Is it?
It could be.
I guess. I don't know, but
it's a joke because we said one of his inspirations was some shoujo manga. So never mind. Keep going. It doesn't matter. Goddamn,
dude.
I mean, the dude was obsessed with fucking. Was it
Idolmaster?
Idolmaster, yeah.
Rest. Man, I hope he's in heaven playing Idolmaster all day long.
I wonder if the people who make Idolmaster are suffering from a loss of revenue now that he's dead.
I don't know. I'm just saying with shoujo manga, there's a specific formula that usually is pretty successful for like things publicized in like Hanayome, which is one of the publishers that do shoujo, like strictly shoujo manga stuff. Yeah. I think there's another one. I don't remember the publishing company, but for shoujo manga, that's Hanayome is one of them, and the other one is it's not Shueisha. Shueisha does shonen manga.
Shueisha is not shoujo.
Yeah, Shueisha does shonen stuff, right? Shueisha is like,
I think so.
They do some shonen stuff, but they also do some other like just general like story stuff, like not necessarily like targeted audience.
Yeah, but point is, I understand that with rom-coms, it's supposed to fulfill this fantasy of like a rom-com. Like Toradora, for example. I love Toradora, but it's very obviously a rom-com. But I think that the characters are pretty unique in and of themselves, in my opinion. And watching
it's just good writing
around the character. It's just good writing. Yeah. It's just good character writing. And at the end of the day, like just because shoujo manga is made for girls, like it's from made for this rom-com experience for a woman's point of view. Like one of my absolute favorite shoujo manga is From Me to You, Kimi ni Todoke. Amazing, phenomenal. I love it. It's so cute. Sawako is so fucking adorable. I love Mamoru Miyano in it, even though like fuck him. How dare he try to get Sawako away from the guy that she actually likes. But point is, it's good character writing in shoujo manga that I like, and Kimi ni Todoke is really good with that. The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten does not have good character writing. It doesn't have any good writing. I hate it. And apparently it's written by a woman. And I was like, why? How? The Angel Next Door Spoils Me Rotten feels like it was written by a middle schooler fantasizing about what love is like in high school from the point of view of a middle schooler. Yes, Natai.
Shueisha owns Shonen Jump.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Man,
So,
Shonen
yeah.
Jump
Remember.
is Shonen Jump is slowly like sliding away from just strictly shonen stuff too, and I kind of like it.
Bro,
is it-
like
Well, because
it's
Shueisha
crazy
owns them
that
and they just publish whatever sells. Like Shueisha owns Spy Family, right?
Yeah, and that appears in
so
Shonen
because
Jump.
no, so Spy Family is in Shonen Plus, right? On their like
Is it? I thought it
digital
was in
stuff.
Jump.
Yeah, no, it's so Chainsaw Man was its first part was entirely in Shonen Jump. That moved to Shonen Plus. Spy Family started in Shonen Plus as well, and I think it's still there. A lot of they've been on a roll lately with like some really good like some bangers, man, and like really
Yeah.
wild one. Like Chainsaw Man doesn't feel like a typical shonen, right? It's crazy that was like,
No, it
It's
doesn't.
and I haven't
more
even
Good writing.
violent.
yeah,
I
and
wouldn't even say
like
it's
Spy
the
Family.
hyper violence that sets it apart. I'd say that like it's just the writing in general. It doesn't
Yeah.
follow. a
It's so
typical
weird
shonen
compared to a
formula.
regular shonen manga.
And
you know?
characters actually fucking die.
Yeah.
And yeah, and Spy Family is like so not a shonen manga, but then it sort of is because it's like it's very different from that.
The action
Yeah.
sequences it has are very shonen-esque. Everything else about it is
And
not.
it happens in a school, and you have sort of like the progression system for like Anya to progress through the school and whatnot. But it feels totally very different from stuff you'll get on Shonen Jump, which is really
It doesn't
cool.
feel like something Shonen Jump would have been publishing like 10, 15 years ago.
definitely.
No.
And I'm excited for like Kaiju. What is it? Kaiju number 8? That's also
Oh,
a Shonen
dude!
Plus manga.
Bro,
Yeah.
Let me tell. I read that manga. Okay.
Oh boy,
So-
here we go.
How is it so far? Because like I'm excited to watch it when the anime is coming
All
out.
right. So I'm gonna be honest. Kaiju number 8 or Monster number 8 is very shonen. It's so shonen. It's so stereotypical shonen, but I can't stop reading it because every new episode I'm like, I like the characters. I like this. So Kaiju number 8 is gonna be about a guy. I don't want to spoil it if you don't know too much about it.
I heard the characters make this manga or like the
Yes,
heart of it.
100%.
That's what I
Because
heard.
so there's the main character guy, right? But it's the supporting characters around him that are great. I love all the characters around him, and they all get their own arcs and stuff. So it's actually super fun to watch because it's not just like sure there's the main character, like how each goes to the main character of Bleach, like in a stereotypical shonen. Like you
Right.
understand like with Naruto, Bleach, just Naruto and Bleach actually. That there is a main character, and the story
Right.
basically revolves around that main character or their group of friends, like that trio, right?
Mhm.
Versus One Piece, where technically Luffy would be the main character, but all of the
It's the
Straw
crew.
Hats, yeah, it's about the crew. So it's a shonen like One Piece, where it's more about the crew than it is about the guy
Mm.
that starts it off. So that's how I would compare it.
I
I
love
actually really
that
like
type of
the
stuff.
characters inside of Kaiju number 8. I'm actually
Mm.
pretty excited for the anime too.
Production IG. Hopefully they'll nail it. I'm really excited to watch it. I think it's coming out next year though, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought, early 2024, I think.
I think it's winter 2024. Let me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like there's
I'll
a
pull it
there's a
up.
character. in
Jamie
there.
looked that up.
My favorite character is the blonde lolly. Not because she's a blonde lolly. Yes,
John.
yes, Alex. There is a blonde lolly in
John?
Kaiju number 8.
You are piquing my interest.
Her story about like who she is, who her parents are, and like her entire goals and stuff like that are great. And right now in the manga, they're going through like her character arc, and it's like, dude, it's so good. I'm just like, oh god, I love this girl so much. Not because she's a blonde lolly, but because of other things like story stuff. And I'm like, oh god, she's facing herself.
It doesn't hurt though, does it, John?
She's like, she's not losing her way.
2024.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
just-
thought it was
that's it.
early 2024.
I'm hoping
Since we're
it's
talking about
well
anime.
received for anime.
Since we're talking about anime, can we talk about the Trigun remake?
Yes. Okay.
I'm going to pee.
So the Taigo P. I don't know how to feel about Trigun Stampede. I really don't.
I'm in
I
the same boat.
I don't hate it. I definitely had doubts going into it because I believe when we were talking about it, me and Chinoda were like, "Oh, we don't know about this," but you were excited for it, right, Alex?
I was excited. I was cautiously optimistic about it because like, I'm old enough to have watched the original Trigun very shortly after it aired in the late 90s. like I remember Johnny Young Bosch being Fastest Stampede. I fucking love it. And I thought, this doesn't look like the original, but maybe it'll be just as good. That was my hope. I didn't want it necessarily surpass the original. I thought if it's as good or even slightly just a little bit worse, I'll say this is a major win, right? And also going into it, we didn't know what it was because there were differences in the trailers. Like this seems like it might be a prequel, or maybe they're taking the story in a different direction. That's why I don't like it that people are calling it a remake. I think this is a reimagining.
No. So this Trigun Stampede is a sequel. As you will see once you watch the last episode. Trigun Stampede is a sequel.
As of the time of watching this, as of the time of recording this, rather, I haven't watched the final episode of Trigun Stampede, but I do know that was it earlier this weekend? The second season was announced.
Yeah, so season 2 is finally announced, but I watched.
Is it season 2? They're like final phase. They didn't even.
Yeah, it's called final phase, or
they're like something final phase.
Basically, Trigun Stampede Kaizohen or whatever the frick it was, is going to be the actual Trigun story, apparently. Because it sets everything up at the end of Trigun Stampede to be like, okay, Stampede, this season of Trigun Stampede was a prequel. However, they've changed a lot of major plot points already, and I don't know how I feel about that. I guess I'll have to see, but I have
to say.
So,
sorry.
Before you say something, Natai.
Yeah, sorry.
I was not looking forward to. I was very cautious about Trigun Stampede because one, it's CG, and I was like, ooh, eesh. Like the last time, Berserk. Well, I mean, Berserk 2016, Fist of the North Star, Blue Sky, other shows that had 3D remakes that came out, CG 3D remakes that I was just like ass. I was like,
that pedigree of Orange, though. Come on.
Yeah, but I will say, I will give credit where credit is due. Trigun Stampede's 3D is not bad. In fact, I would say it's actually pretty smooth in some sections. I actually really enjoyed the action sequences. And like in the very beginning, like when Vash is like dodging bullets and stuff, and it's like so smooth, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking hilarious. Trigun Stampede has definitely nailed the comedy aspect of Trigun.
Which is weird because it seems like it's a far more serious take on Trigun.
It is. Well, you got to understand that with the original Trigun, it's very comedic in the very beginning until you get to the end where it gets very dramatic.
Yeah.
And it's like that switch when you get to the dramatic stuff at the end of Trigun is like, whoa, what the fuck? Like shit just got real.
Which is really weird because with this, it's mostly dramatic with elements of comedy peppered in.
Yeah. So I don't like how they start off the big reveal. They show off in like episode 2, I think.
So not to spoil anything for Natai, one of the big reveals of the original Trigun, which takes place near the end of the original Trigun, happens in episode 3 of Stampede.
Yeah. Very early.
Why?
Like, whoa, what?
Is that earned?
We'll have to find out because I think we'll find out by the end of the season, maybe.
It's like someone who's a total like newbie to Trigun. Like from everything I've seen of the OG Trigun, like its art style, the characters, like this show screams something I'll absolutely like adore, like fucking gush and come over, you know.
I adore
I'm sure I love it.
Trigun.
Yeah,
the original Trigun is one of the best anime of the 90s.
I'm gonna watch it, especially now that Stampede is over. I'm really curious to watch the OG before this. But it's been weird how badly they communicated what this new anime is.
Yes.
Like they just wouldn't give it a fucking like any like nothing. They wouldn't describe it for some reason. It's really weird. And I do want to say it's been really cool to see how they're like very like Orange is very big on Twitter. They're like all the time they post on Twitter. They like share like how they would like every now and again I see their posts on Twitter. It's really cool, and I love how much they're trying to communicate with the community. Right. It's great, but it's just like it's really strange how they refrain from like giving this like a title what type of show it is because they know the original is very beloved, you know? It's kind of strange.
So the creator of Trigun did oversee the remake in Stampede or the reimagining. And what she?
I think it's a she.
I don't know.
I don't.
I know
think
it's the
look that
same mangaka as Kekai Sensen, and I think it's a she. So let me check.
Okay.
Keep going.
The original
Anyway.
creator of Trigun did oversee it, and they did say that they hope that with the new season of Trigun, we stick around to see what happens next.
It's a guy. Never
So-
mind. I'm dumb.
Okay, so he did come out and say that because he did oversee the production of Stampede. So it's got his stamp of approval as far as we know. And
So do you think this is
he's
something
very
like
satisfied with what the story is going to turn out to be? So with that being said, after watching Stampede and finding out it's a prequel, I'm more optimistic for part 2 now because I didn't hate it, but I just think that they've changed a lot of major story beats. And I feel like the initial reason why I just remember Trigun so much is because of those reveals at the end. Like they introduced Wolfwood. Wolfwood is in the prequel. And it's like in the original, Vash doesn't know Wolfwood until later on. Like and then,
much later on, like past the halfway point.
But
I think
I can see how like now that Vash is like Vash knows who Wolfwood is, but then like going into like the future and stuff, I feel like I know how they're gonna set it up, and I'm pretty optimistic for it. I don't want to spoil anything since you haven't seen the last episode, and I don't want to spoil Natai, but I just don't know how I feel about like, was it good or not? Like,
you might have to wait and see.
Are
how
you
it turns out.
satisfied for what you got? Are you satisfied with the experience you had?
I am so far.
I can't say I am because this feels like because it's a prequel, and if we want to compare apples to apples, we have to see the second part.
Yeah.
Do you feel it's incomplete as it is right now?
Yeah, as it is right now, it's 100% incomplete. Like it doesn't even because so
I
at the very
that.
end of the of Trigun Stampede, they talk about they're talking to Meryl, and they're like, Meryl, you've got a new one who wants to join you, some weirdo named Millie Thompson, and it's like, yo, Millie, justice for Millie, Millie's back.
Yeah, everyone was because that's one of the best girls in the original Trigun.
I fucking
and
love Millie.
Everyone
She's
was
like
kind
a
of pissed that
6'7"
Meryl
goddess.
Everyone was upset that Meryl.
Let me explain to people who Millie Thompson is. She's a 6'7" goddess who pulls out a fucking chain gun and just like with a smile on her face will fucking blast holes through everything. I love her so much because she's dumb as shit. She's so easygoing. It's so good.
Which is very different from Roberto.
Yeah, I kind of liked him though because he's like the story revolves around like Meryl's new and she's like a news reporter and stuff. But then they do talk about they make a little thing like, hey Meryl, if you fuck up this next assignment, we're gonna throw you over to insurance claims. And I'm like, yo, the insurance adjusters, that's their original role in Trigun. So it's like, oh, I kind of see where this is going now. Like I'm hoping they bring it back and they actually become insurance adjusters, and like that's the reason they're chasing Vash the Stampede. However, Meryl knows who Vash is now, so it's kind of weird that because in the original Meryl doesn't know who Vash is, right? Like one of the big reveals is like they find out, oh, this guy is Vash the Stampede, but it's like if Meryl already knows who he is, like if she becomes one of the insurance adjusters, then she knows him. So this reveal doesn't work anymore. So this is why I'm like, they've changed some story stuff. So I don't really see how it's going to like be changed in the future. But yeah, to compare apples to apples, I have to watch the second part to Trigun Stampede because it's not a complete experience yet. Like I like that it's a prequel and I got to learn a bunch of stuff beforehand, but there's a bunch of story stuff. Like I love that we learned more about Million Knives, like the whole reveal with Nye and stuff like that. I love that because in the original, at least for the anime, because I believe it's a manga series and I never read.
It's a manga.
Yeah, it is.
I've never read the Trigun manga, but in the original anime, when we meet Million Knives and stuff like that, like we don't actually know very much about it. Like we don't know much about Vash's backstory. So Stampede does quite a lot of exposition towards Vash's backstory. And it's a lot more dramatic for sure because it's a lot about like Vash's traumas and stuff. Like it's pretty heavy. Like and then it makes even more sense. Like if I look at Stampede and I look at the original Trigun, it makes sense why Vash is how he is, right? I like that they give an explanation for that. because in the original anime, the way that they reference the July stuff, and the City of July stuff does happen, but in the original anime, we just know about the story, and apparently that's the cause of Vash's grief. The stuff, what happened in July City.
Yeah.
But we actually get to see that happen in Stampede. So it's like, it's more personal now. Like, we actually know what Vash went through and what happened to July. And it's like, oh shit, like this is why he acts like the way that he does. And it's like, oh, it makes sense now. And
so now,
go ahead.
So now the question rises, like, I already know I'm gonna watch the OG first because I'm like like I always wanted to. But then the question arises, which one do you go for first when recommended stuff? As I mean, you said Stampede is incomplete, but then you got the experience of, do you first go with like the way it's presented, the prequel or the original? You know,
I would say the original, like Alex said, Stampede is a reimagining. All right.
Right.
So I think that the original is still something you should watch. I think it's really good. It's really good, just anime in general. However, I do think that Stampede does not deserve all the hate that is getting online.
No, not
there are.
Is it getting that much hate though?
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many people who hate it, and I'm like,
really?
why? It's not terrible. Like, I understand the misgivings with it. Like, I hate, again, like I said, they changed story beats.
I know a lot of people just hate it because it's 3D CG.
Yeah, and like the 3D is not bad. Like, I can't believe that's a dog shit fucking opinion to have. It's not bad. If it was,
I know,
like,
Ida hates the fact that they changed Vash's design.
There's something in the last episode, just letting you know. I mean, so because it's a prequel, obviously he had a style before his current style. Just that's all I'm saying. But I will say, like, if this had the animation quality or level of like X-Arm, for example, I'd be like, okay, fair point. It's dog shit animation, but it is not dog shit animation. You cannot sit here and complain. Like, first and foremost, the original is hand drawn and it looks great. There's some parts, I believe there's some parts that are CG in the original,
but it's very minimal.
But there's not a lot of action sequences in it in the original. Not very many at all. So you can't sit here and complain about it doesn't look good. It's like the original didn't have fight scenes, bro. This one has fight scenes. You can't complain.
It's the same conversation. It's the same conversation that happened with fucking Chainsaw Man, where like there was CG, so automatically people were like, oh, it's CG, therefore it's garbage. It's like, no, it looks fucking great. And half the time when people like that looks like CG, it was like actually 2D animation. But it's like people always like there's this group of people that have the knee-jerk reaction where it's like CG garbage. It's like, shut the fuck up. It's like
so a couple weeks ago, I posted in our Discord a video someone made on Reddit where they did 3D. So they used Blender, which is a 3D manipulation program, and they remade Ranma 1/2, one of the fight scenes, like fight sequences in Ranma 1/2, and it looks because of the shaders that they use and stuff, it looks 2D. Obviously, you can tell like the background houses and stuff are 3D, but the fight itself it's done in 3D, but it looks 2D. It's crazy. It looks awesome. So good. And I was like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is actually really cool. So we're getting closer and closer to the point where you really can't tell when something's 3D CGI anymore compared to like traditional. Like, again, with Chainsaw Man. Yeah. Plenty of the CG in that looks fucking phenomenal. Looks amazing. Like, sure, you can tell that something is 3D CG, but there's certainly things like
and you can certainly nitpick certain things here and
side
there.
Tangent. The Last of Us, for example, uses a bunch of 3D CG stuff, right? Where they'll green screen a bunch of things. And there's certain places where like you can definitely tell. Like, there's the part where they see the
clicker,
the giraffe. Oh. So there's a scene where Ellie and Joel see the giraffe. And it's like the first shot that you see is a real giraffe. They actually got a real fucking giraffe in the first establishing shot. But then when Ellie goes and pets the giraffe, it's CG. And it's like, okay, I could tell the difference because I spend my time doing a lot of 3D stuff. So I could tell the obvious difference. But it's such a big, fast switch that it's like, to the untrained eye, I don't think you'd fucking notice. And it didn't.
But like, that's a live action show, whereas like in anime, you have like you when you have like 2D animation controls with
like,
3D.
With a live action show, they were able, like, look at the quality of a live action CG. Like, CG is getting up there in power. It's getting up there.
Definitely. But again, when you contrast that,
like 10 years ago, for example, like other than fucking Avatar, other than Avatar, 10 years ago when something said 3D CG, we all recoiled in horror, like, oh god, it's gonna look god off. Like, no, I would say 20 years ago for sure. 20 years ago for sure would be like, oh god, it's 3D CG. Like, have you ever rewatched the first Toy Story?
Or
it's pretty. It's
if
pretty
we're talking
bad.
about anime, watch the original Appleseed movie.
Oh god, the original Appleseed's garbage. I hate it. It's
the 3D
so bad.
CG in that is incredibly dated.
Yeah.
But they didn't get stuff even like in fucking Demon Slayer. The use of CG and like the environments, the CG environments they incorporate, that how they composite the 2D characters. It looks phenomenal, you know. It looks great.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, John, since you've watched all of the first season of Stampede and knowing what we know about how deeply involved the original creator is in this anime, do you think that, because I know it's based on a manga, and obviously the manga is the original like
source
and the original like intent of the story. Do you think this is something kind of similar to what happened with Hideaki Anno and the rebuild of Eva, where the creator is trying to tell the kind of story they wanted to tell with new technology?
I think so. I think because after watching Stampede and then after watching original Trigun and then now finishing Stampede, I understand that the entire story of Trigun isn't about just some aloof character that all of a sudden it gets dark. It's always been dark. Like, he's always carried this darkness in his heart, and Stampede
just had a persona to cover it up.
Yeah, and I think that Stampede has done a really good job at covering that.
I will say one thing writing wise that I have enjoyed with Stampede, maybe even as opposed to the original, is in Stampede they really lean into sort of Meryl being the POV character.
Yeah.
Whereas she was kind of a POV character in the original, but not anywhere near as much as in Stampede. I like that storytelling wise, where the main character really isn't the POV character.
Is the OG streaming anywhere?
That is a good question. I don't know. Let me look it up.
I will say I have a couple of complaints about Trigun Stampede. My main complaint is I fucking hate Nai's voice actor in Japanese. Like, every single time he brings up Vash's name, he goes, Vash. And it's like, when he uses it in dramatic effect, like in the beginning, like, isn't that right? Vash. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. You're obviously taunting Vash because you made him do something super fucked up. Yeah. I get that. But in the end, when Nai or Million Knives is trying to talk to Vash about like what is happening, he keeps going Vash, like, and he has a really cool voice where he's like, oh, don't you think so, Vash? And I'm like, oh god, why the fuck are you doing that?
Apparently the original Trigun is currently streaming on Hulu.
No.
Yar, matey, we sail forth.
So, like, that's one of my major complaints about like the voice acting. But Johnny Young Bosch has reprised his role as Vash the Stampede, which is amazing, and I love that.
Dope.
I was watching the.
Can you tell we heard Anime Club After Dark really like Johnny Young Bosch?
Dude, I fucking
God, could you imagine him being on the podcast someday?
Oh, one day I hope so. I would literally just talk to him for an hour and a half about fucking Power Rangers.
Yeah, me too. Like, all right, so let's talk about Power Rangers. They have the new movie coming out.
Oh yeah,
where I think they're bringing back all the old Power Rangers or something.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't know like
I don't know too much about it. I just saw like a trailer or a
a trailer just dropped the other day.
Well, so, I think that's enough with Trigun. We've talked about it for like 40 minutes.
And
we haven't talked about anything that Taiwan.
Wasn't this supposed to be the hot takes episode? In the end, we were like, oh.
No, it's the monthly dump where we just dump and rant about shit.
Oh, you're right.
Do hot takes like
the
again,
monthly dump. You mean the monthly Power Hour dump?
But we haven't talked about anything that Ty wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah,
nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I feel like again
we've been going on for a while now. We can save it for next month.
So the monthly dump was my idea because like again. People like it when I complain about stuff, and I don't know why. Like, I guess people like listening to people complain. That's kind of a weird thing. My favorite drama YouTuber is Moist Critical. Uh, tell me I'm wrong. He's now a drama YouTuber. You guys can't change. He's not a variety streamer anymore, in my opinion. He's a drama YouTuber.
He's a drama YouTuber.
He's up there.
He's a
with
drama
Keemstar.
YouTuber who occasionally streams games.
Yes, but I just wanted a space every month where we can just bitch and moan about the current state of anime and talking about Stampede and the Angel Next Door. Like, this came out this season, so I hit those marks. But I feel like I'm the only one who has strong opinions about about anime.
Oh no,
Like,
sir.
Listen. What I mean, I like Vinland Saga. I like My Hero Academia. Like, those are the
you're not even
opinions
watching
right now.
anything this season, bro. You don't even get to have a
I'm not an
I don't know
anime
why you're
fan
here.
anymore.
I don't know
Why
why
am I even on
here.
the podcast?
I know. Why are you here?
Just
Why
to
are
Oh,
we
you know
here?
what? You know what? Here. I throw something to the pile. Golden Kamuy is really good. I'm really enjoying
Yes,
it.
it is.
Oh, have you started
Alex
watching it?
was right. Hashtag Alex was right.
Hashtag
No.
Alex was right.
Yeah,
Listen,
me and my buddy.
all I told you, Natai, is you had to get past the CG bear and everything would be fine.
You're right. Bro, the CG Bear is so garbage.
Bro,
Listen. So I told
I'm
this
gonna
story.
watch Golden Kamuy now, and I'm gonna shit it. I'm gonna shit on it.
It's
so
pretty
bad.
good.
I'm gonna shit
Listen.
on it. Watch. I'm gonna do
Listen.
it.
Sugimoto
listen.
is a bro.
The anime itself as an anime is not the best. It's kind of like damage is kind of stilted. It's kind of rough around the edges. But I think like the writing and the voice cast like are carrying this show really hard. And like the subject matter is so unique. It's so cool. Like and amongst all the fucking garbage and fucking isekai you like to consume, you have this very, very unique story in anime that is about that very specific time period in Japan, about this specific culture that used to be there. It's really awesome, really good stuff.
It's Jotaro searching for Nazi gold.
Pretty much.
What?
It's awesome. Yeah. It's a very apt description, actually.
So basically, they took part 1 or part 2 and part 3 and smashed them together.
Kinda, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, something like
Except
that.
there's no stands.
I mean, it is quite battle tendency-esque, yeah.
It's more battle tendency than Stardust Crusaders, yes.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it's great. It's a really good time. It's so funny. You know, like there's so much brevity in this show, but at the same time, it's very brutal. It's
The reaction
great.
faces
It's
are
show.
really good too.
Oh yeah, and again, like Sugimoto is a fantastic main character. I like he wins you over like that. It's a really fun character to see. Like I told this many times, me and my buddy, the one who got me into One Piece, we're waiting for the current arc to end, and that led to us watching a few shows. One of them, Rent a Girlfriend, which is bro. I need you, John. What would it take for you to watch this show to bitch about it with me? Do it,
Bro.
Come join me.
I don't want to hate watch. I hate it.
Yes. You just hate watched an entire mediocre anime.
Didn't say you
How
liked
about you
it,
hate
though.
watch a garbage anime?
But I know it's garbage going into it. Like, I didn't know Angel Next
Bro,
Door.
you don't. You don't know how bad it is.
I don't have
What is
to, man.
what is like the anime equivalent to The Room though? Like an anime that's so bad it's actually enjoyable to watch.
XR?
XR, yeah.
No, absolutely not.
No.
That's a good question.
Like, because The Room is like every bad decision that could have been taken with that movie
Was made.
And I don't know what anime is like the equivalent of that.
That is actually a really
we
good question.
should start a new show where it's like
no.
we search for the worst anime. I hate everything already that did that, but we should look for the worst of the worst anime we could find.
You might say the
Coming
lowest
up
of the low.
next week, our review of Abu Nai Sisters.
Kiss X's. I mean, what?
Kiss X is not even that bad. Have you seen Abu Nai Sisters, bro?
Yeah,
No, I
dude,
haven't,
Overlord is even worse.
Bro.
There's my hot
The anime
take.
is not that great. Yeah, I mean, that's not much of a hot take. The anime is not that great. But the light novel, though.
The light
People
novel.
love the anime, and I'm like,
those people haven't read the light novel.
I liked season 1, and I really liked season 4. Season 2 and
I
3 are pretty
hated
bad.
season 1. It was so boring.
How dare you?
because it's
How
like
dare you,
there's
I
nothing
don't-
there.
bro?
Why
No,
are you
season
here,
one,
Natai?
nothing was there. There was nothing happening.
I want to tell you all about the best anime of the winter season, and that's My Life is Inukai-san's Dog.
Oh,
watched that.
get out of here!
I watched it too, John.
It's like I think it's only like 2 or 5 minutes long. It's very short.
It's an anime short series.
So is it
Yeah.
like an ecchi? Like, is it supposed to
Yes.
be like?
It's about a guy
Oh.
who reincarnates as a dog, and then he just like he gets into lewd positions with Inukai, the hot girls. That's it.
We in Anime Club After Dark do not support bestiality.
No, we don't
Oh.
condone that. Inukai's dog is the worst fucking thing this season.
So have you ever heard about girls who sometimes spread peanut butter on their cooch
Oh my
and let
God,
the dogs
alright.
lick it off?
Anyway,
Shut up! No!
thank you all
No!
out there for
We're
It
done.
kind of
done.
happens in this.
Thank you.
Um,
No, I'm not.
Also, Table Coon makes an appearance.
I'm so disappointed. I mean, am I actually disappointed in Alex at this point? I don't think so. This is like
Is there anything I
expected
could do?
behavior.
Is there anything I could say to really disappoint you, though? Oh, he's taking his
Look at
penis
that.
and he's gone.
Natai's gone. He doesn't want to be part of this podcast anymore.
He's so far gone, he took his penis with him. I think that's a good spot to end.
I hate it here.
Yeah, I missed that.
Anyway, if anyone wants to be a host of a anime podcast, email me, please.
AnimeClubAfterDark@gmail.com.
Look out! He's pulling his cock out.
Why?
And before YouTube flags that as actual nudity. Anyway, I think this is a good spot for us to end the first monthly dump.
It was quite the smelly dump right
It
there.
was quite a smelly dump.
Got a couple stinkers up in here. Yeah.
Got a couple stinkers. Well, I don't. When Charlie says a stinker, it just feels right,
Stinker. Anyway,
no, stinker
yeah,
is in Hebrew for something else.
Is it? Is it
Stinker
actually?
is a snitch, pretty much.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say about snitches.
They get stitches.
They do. Anyways, yeah, this is the first monthly dump. Look forward to this. I guess every month from us from now on. It is kind of fun to do. Let us know down below how shitty our opinions are, I guess.
All
if
my
you vote
takes
anyway.
are right. You cannot deny it. You cannot fight me. No, you're not.
Natai is inevitable.
This dude literally is a Yui simp, though. Come on, how right can he really be?
Shut the fuck. I'll come over to your house.
You've already been here, Natai. Oh, he's
That
gonna
was-
hit me with
one
his,
ti-
he's
the
gonna
one
beat
time
me to
was
death
enough.
with his cock.
Oh, you wish.
Anyway, thank you all there for dropping in to listen to us. Check the description below where you can find links to Anime Club After Dark on Twitch, on social media, and on Discord. We also have a merch store linked down below. Any purchases you make there do really, really help us out. With that, I have been your host, Alex, and I will see you next time. Say goodnight, guys.
Good night.
Oh, that was
Nice.
a bad burp. What? That was garbage.
That was not
Yeah,
even worth
dude,
the effort.
That's
Natai.
like probably the worst one yet.
I mean, I'm not gonna fart.
That's some. Real
No, bro, no.
It's the power dump hour. Sorry. Enough of the poo-poo joke.
You'll never stop making the shit jokes. Ever.